Teacher Sharon, and I have been teaching with VIPKID for 2.5 years, and I have been a mock class mentor with them for 1.5 years. So it's been a wild ride and I love it. So I wanted to make a quick video about pacing. I always start my mock classes by asking the applicants if they had any questions when they were looking over the material. Without fail, they will always tell me, I just really hope that I can get through all of this. While it's true that not a lot of people actually complete their mock class because they run out of time, I think we need to all calm down a bit about the pacing. Too many people are super hyper focused on pacing and are overlooking several other important things, more important things, that will take care of the pacing problem. So today I want to talk about 5 things we can all stop doing to take care of pacing and make it so maybe perhaps more than 2% of the applicants will actually get through their mock class material. Maybe. All right, first up, number 1. Stop reteaching review and warm-up material. Okay. Review and warm-up material is never new material. We're not going to start off the class by teaching the student this is a tomato. They already know tomato. And, what are some of the other things on there? Tomato and just tomato is all I can think of. All the things on the warm-up slide, no matter the lesson, they've had previous lessons about, even if all those words are not listed on the previously learned vocab or sentence structures. The things on the warm-up slide, you can count on the student knowing. So assume the student remembers the words and ask them, what do you see? And then you can move through the material much faster. Number 2. Stop relying on parroting. Parroting. Really, number 2 is kind of number 1.5 because they're related, but everything's related, so I'm calling it number 2. Parroting takes so long. I see a tomato. I see a tomato. I see... Still nothing. I can't remember any of the other words in these warm-up slides. I see a pumpkin. I see a pumpkin. On and on and on. I want you to get the student responding to your questions. First time, sure, have them repeat it back. I see a tomato. What do you see? Right? They're repeating it back. The next one, whoa, I remembered. What do you see? And they can tell you, I see an elbow. So get away from me repeating everything you say. Show me the answer you want me to say, and then moving forward, get me to respond to your questions. Parroting takes forever, parroting is boring, and parroting prevents the student from talking as much or more than you because you are constantly talking. So get the student to respond to your questions as opposed to parroting the whole time, and you will save yourself a ton of time. Number 3. Stop jumping straight to difficult questions. That reflection is the worst. There. What sound does elevator start with? Can you tell me what the first sound of elevator is? What is the first letter of the word in the picture right over there? And all of those get you this response from the student. Starting off with too difficult of a question right away is going to kill your pacing. So keep it simple. So let's try this instead. Start simple and demonstrate what you want from the student. Elevator starts with eh, or elevator starts with k. And essentially they're repeating back that target sentence. Draw a line, and here we go. Egg starts with, and see if they can tell you egg starts with eh, and then by key I can get to that question you might have wanted to start with. What sound does key start with? That is a great question when used at the right time, and we can continue to use that question for the rest of the activity. What sound does kite start with? What sound does king start with? And all of those things. In any activity, Start simple, demonstrating the sentence structure you want, and then you can get to that more difficult question where they're responding using those target sentences on their own. Just do everything in the right order so that you don't get stuck in the blank stare zone. Number 4. Stop forgetting TPR. I guess I could just say use TPR. This is all sounding a little negative, but that's okay. Have we all heard so much about TPR? But really, it's important. So, TPR, total physical response. If you don't have it, you're getting blank stares. And again, no go on the blank stares from the student. So, I see a tomato. And then I'm just staring. And the student's just staring. And nobody knows why. I see a tomato. All right, now I'm waiting for you to do something. So, anytime you want the student to say something, cup your ear. I know people don't usually think of TPR in regards to pacing, but do you know how much time is wasted in a class with me just looking at the applicant and them just looking at me and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do? We don't want the student to ever be confused because that takes up time. Add all the clarity you can to your lesson to keep things moving along, and a huge way to do that is to use your TPR. Last one, number 5. We made it. Stop talking so much. You. I see a tomato. Can you say I see a tomato? Do you see a tomato? What? 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 I don't know. Only ask your question one time. And really make that one question count. Make sure it's an open-ended question like what do you see that they're already familiar with, as opposed to do you see a tomato or can you see a tomato or where is the tomato? Those will either give you silent circles, yes or no, or just tomato. So all of those situations you're going to have to go back and correct for a complete sentence, and again, it's wasting time in the class. So rather than asking 3 subpar questions back to back, ask one efficient, open-ended question so you can have more clarity, more simplicity in your class, and you'll be more likely to get the response that you want on that first try. So let's recap how we are going to get through all of the material in the mock class, in any class that you teach with VIPKID. Here are the 5 tips to help get through the material and fix your pacing problems. Number 1, stop reteaching review and warm-up material the student has already been taught. Number 2, stop relying so heavily on parroting. While it has its place in the classroom, you do need to move away from it to asking questions. Number 3, stop starting with questions that are too difficult. You're forgetting to demonstrate your directions. So start there first, and then you can get to the more difficult questions. Number 4, stop forgetting your TPR. It's confusing for the student if you're not showing them what you want them to do, and this will save you time. And last one, don't stop talking. Stop talking too much, stop talking too much. Rephrasing your questions over and over again, inadvertently talking over the student. Make the questions and the things that you're saying efficient so that you can get the responses that you want from the student. We made it. I hope that these 5 tips help you have a super successful mock class. Okay, if you haven't applied to teach with VIPKID yet, I would highly recommend that you do that. I have a link to do so below. If you apply with my referral link, then I can track your progress throughout the application process. And I've helped so many people already become successful teachers with us. It's really one of the best jobs on the planet. And so just use my referral link or my referral code below, and you can find out how to do that there. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time.